Hello everyone, welcome to Insight IS Academy. Today in this session we are going to discuss a test paper on general science, and this is a prelims test paper wherein questions are there from physics, chemistry and biology. So under this particular test, in physics we have questions from topics like work, time, speed, distance, then the chapter of light, sound, etc. In chemistry, there are questions from acids, bases, salts, then metals and non-metals, and then questions are also there from chemical reactions, right? Then in biology, there are questions from various topics like cells, respiration, digestive system, excretory system and all, right? So these are the topics that are covered in this particular test paper. So let us start with our discussion of this test. First question is, with reference to the allotropes of carbon, consider the following statements. So what exactly do we mean by allotropes? Allotropes of a particular element are those forms of that element which have same chemical properties, but their physical properties like structure is different. So let us consider the allotropes of carbon. First, diamond and graphite have very different chemical properties even though their physical properties are the same. Incorrect statement. Diamond and graphite are allotropes of carbon and their physical properties are different, but chemical properties are same as they are made up of carbon. So first statement is an incorrect statement. Second, graphite is a good conductor of electricity. This statement is a correct statement. Graphite, which is one of the allotropes of carbon, is a good conductor of electricity. Third, diamonds can be synthesized by subjecting pure carbon to very low pressure and high temperature. Now this statement is an incorrect statement. Why? Because diamonds can be synthesized by subjecting pure carbon to very high pressure and high temperature as well. So third statement is also an incorrect statement. Fourth statement, fullerenes is an allotrope of carbon. Now this statement is a correct statement. Fullerenes, it is one of the allotropes of carbon, and it is an allotrope of carbon which consists of 60 atoms of carbon, and that's why it is also called as C60. Fullerenes, they are also called as C60, right? And if you see the shape of fullerenes, you will see that the shape of fullerenes is similar to a soccer ball, right? So in this particular statement, in this particular question, only second and fourth statements are correct. We are supposed to find out correct statements only, and that's why answer of this question is B, 2 and 4 only. Question number first answer is B. Next now, second question. The resolving power of an electron microscope is much higher than that of an ordinary light microscope because resolving power increases. So resolving power increases if wavelength is shorter and wavelength of electron is shorter than the visible microscope, and that's why first statement is the answer. Why resolving power of electron microscope is better or higher than ordinary light microscope? Because of the shorter wavelength of the electrons, right? So answer of this question is A. if wavelength is short and wavelength of electron beam can be made quite small by accelerating the electrons, right? As a result of that, as wavelength of electrons is shorter, electron microscopes can give us better resolution. So first statement is the answer of this particular question. Question number 2, answer is A. Next now, third question. With reference to the characteristic features of fish that help it to adapt to live in water, which of the following statements given below are correct, right? So the simple question it is about the adaptations that help fish to survive in aquatic ecosystem or marine ecosystem. First statement, the streamlined spindle-shaped body which is covered with scales help in making their swim easier, right? So we know that the body shape of fishes is a spindle shaped, and as a result of that spindle shape, it is easier for fishes to swim in the water. Also, in order to protect the body cover is of scales, and that is also one of the adaptations that allows them to continue to live in water. So first statement is correct. Second, skeleton of fish is made up of thick bones with a flexible backbone structure. Now this statement is an incorrect statement, because skeleton of fishes is not made up of thick bones, rather it is made up of thin bones. And as a result of these thin bones with a flexible backbone structure, fishes are able to survive, are able to swim in water. Right? So second statement is an incorrect statement. Bones are not thick, rather they are thin. Third statement, gills are the organs for respiration in fishes that helps them in absorbing oxygen from the water. Right? So this is the basic statement that we are aware of. You must have studied this in your school days as well. Gills are the organs that help fishes to absorb oxygen which is present in the water. And that is one of the ways of mechanisms that we can see in fishes. Fourth, flat fins and tails help the fish in swimming, changing direction, and in keeping the body balanced. Right? So the fins, flat fins and tails of the fishes help them to carry out swimming activity, change direction in the water. And that's why fourth statement is a correct statement. So only second statement is incorrect. First, third, fourth statements are correct, and that's why our answer is C, 1, 3 and 4 only. Question number 3, answer is C. Fourth question. Given below are two statements labeled as assertion and reason. Read the statements carefully. So we have question in the form of assertion and reason. So we are also supposed to find out which statements are correct and what is their relation, whether R is a correct explanation of A or not. Assertion. When an ant bites, it can cause pain, redness and swelling. Right? So that is a common experience. So A is correct. Reason. Ants have a stinger that injects formic acid into the skin. Right? So this statement is also a correct statement. Ants, when they bite, they insert an acid called as formic acid in our skin, and as a result of that acid, there is redness, swelling and pain. And that's why we can say that both the statements are correct and R is correct explanation of A. So this option is mentioned in this kind of condition is mentioned in option A, and that's why it is our answer. Both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. So this is the answer. Question number 4, answer is A. Fifth now, read the following statements carefully. So the question is on shrubs and herbs. Let us consider the statements first. Shrubs are typically short-lived plants that do not grow very tall. Now this statement is not related to shrubs, it is related to herbs. Right? So herbs are short-lived plants, and shrubs on the other hand are able to continue their life for a longer period compared to herbs. right? For example, herbs, their example is in the form of, let's say, ginger plant you must have seen. It is a kind of herb. Shrubs, on the other hand, consist of, let's say, berry plants. Various kinds of berries are there. Even China rose, it is a shrub. So first statement is an incorrect statement because it is a statement related to herbs, not related to shrubs. Second, plants that have branches near the base of the stem and a hard but not very thick stem are called herbs. Now this is the statement related to shrubs. So the statements are interchanged. First and second statements are interchanged. Third, shrubs and herbs can be used for their culinary, medicinal, or ornamental value, right? So this statement is a correct statement. There are a number of shrubs and herbs which have uses in medicinal properties or medicinal treatments, then culinary, that means in food, and also in the ornamentation, right? So third statement is a correct statement. Though not all shrubs have these properties, but there are shrubs which have these kind of properties. So third statement is correct. We are supposed to find out correct statement only, and that's why answer is A, 3 only. Question number 5, answer is A. Sixth question. In the context of law of conservation of energy, consider the following statements, right? So you must have studied about law of conservation of energy, which says that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only be changed from one form to another form. Let us consider the statements. First, energy can only be converted from one form to another, and hence it can neither be created nor destroyed, right? So this statement is a correct statement. Second, the law of conservation of energy is valid in all situations and transformations. This is also a correct statement. There is no exception to law of conservation of energy. It is valid in all situations, in all kind of energy transformations. Law of conservation of energy is valid. Third, the total energy before and after the transformation does not remain the same. Again, this statement is an incorrect statement. It is against the law of conservation of energy. Total energy before and after the transformation must be same. Then only law of conservation of energy will be valid or will be followed. So third statement is an incorrect statement. Only first two are correct. We are supposed to find out correct statement only, and that's why answer is D, 1 and 2 only. Question number 6, answer is D. Seventh question. Consider the following statements. Statement 1. Pasteurized milk can be consumed without boiling. Right? So first of all, what is pasteurized milk? So pasteurized milk is the result of a process called as pasteurization. What is done under pasteurization? Under pasteurization, milk is boiled up to a certain temperature for a certain time period that will lead to killing up of bacteria present in milk. And that milk will be safe for the consumption even without boiling. And that's why first statement which says that pasteurized milk can be consumed without boiling is a correct statement. Statement 2. Pasteurized milk is free from harmful microbes, right? So this statement is also correct statement. Why it is correct? Because when pasteurization process is carried out, milk is boiled up to a certain temperature. As a result of that, microbes present in that milk are killed. And hence, we can say that second statement is also a correct statement. At the same time, second statement is a correct explanation of statement 1. As pasteurized milk does not have microbes in it, it can be consumed without boiling. So both the statements are correct, and statement 2 is correct explanation of statement 1, which is mentioned in option A, and that's why it is our answer. Question number 7, answer is A. Next question now, 8th question. Consider the following diseases. How many of the above diseases are examples of respiratory disorders? Right? So out of this, which are respiratory disorders? So you can see these diseases and you can easily remove cardiac arrest. It is not a respiratory disease. Fine. Now first, asthma. We know that asthma is a respiratory disease because you must have studied about air pollution, and in air pollution one of the major impacts is asthma. Right. So first statement or first disease is correct. It is a respiratory disorder. Next is emphysema. So emphysema is an infection of air sacs. Air sacs which are present in our body, that means it is also a kind of respiratory disease. Then pneumonia is also a kind of respiratory disease, right? Because in pneumonia there will be deficiency of oxygen as a result of pneumonia. So first three are the respiratory diseases. We are supposed to find out how many of the above diseases are respiratory. So 3 diseases are respiratory diseases, and that's why it is the answer. Question number 8, answer is C. Ninth question. In the context of properties of various materials around us, consider the following statements. First statement. The hardness of a material is measured by its resistance to being scratched or indented. Right, so this statement is a correct statement. If a material is hard, obviously it will resist scratches and being indented. And that's why first statement is a correct statement. Second, brittleness is a material's ability to resist breaking under stress. Now this statement is an incorrect statement because brittleness, we know that brittleness is a property of material to break if it is under stress, which is not mentioned in this particular statement. Statement mentions that brittleness is the ability to resist breaking under stress, and that's why it is incorrect. Third, ductility is a material's ability to be stretched without breaking. Right, so this statement is again a correct statement. In ductility, we can stretch the metals and that stretching is without breaking. So third statement is a correct statement. First and third statements are correct. We are supposed to find out how many statements are correct. Only 2 are correct, and that's why it is our answer. Question number 9, answer is B. Next now, 10th question. Which among the following are considered as the physical properties of a substance? Right, so there are 2 types of properties that generally we study in general science: physical properties and chemical properties. So properties like color, size, shape, weight, then melting point, boiling point, all these are considered as physical properties. So let us consider the physical properties. So odor, color, melting point, these are physical properties. But the property of combustibility and reactivity are not physical properties, they are chemical properties. They are chemical properties, right? So first 3 are correct, 4th and 5th are incorrect. So answer of this question is 1, 2 and 3. Only 3 are 1, 2 and 3 are the physical properties. So question number 10, answer is A. Next now, 11th question. With reference to aluminium, consider the following statements. First, among metals, aluminium is the most abundant element in Earth's crust. Right? So this statement is a correct statement regarding aluminium. Amongst metals, aluminium is the most abundant metal that we have in the Earth's crust. Second statement, for the purpose of extraction, bauxite is chosen as ore for aluminium. Right? So how we get aluminium? We get aluminium from the bauxite ore. So second statement is also a correct statement. So both these statements are correct statements regarding aluminium, and that's why answer is C, both 1 and 2. So question number 11, answer is C. 12th. In the context of reasons responsible for survival of camel species in desert areas, consider the following statements. Right? That means the question is on adaptations shown by camels so that they'll be able to survive in desert. First statement, the camel's hump stores fat which can be broken down into energy. Right? So this is one of the important adaptations that is seen in camels, because it might not it might not get food for a long period of time, and that's why this stored fat in hump can be used as a source of energy. First statement is correct. Second, they have thick skin that helps in preventing water loss, right? So because of the thick skin, they are able to conserve water, and thus they'll be able to continue survival in desert. So second statement is also correct. Third, they have small coarse feet with tough thick skin that enables them to walk on hot sand without burning their feet. Now this statement is an incorrect statement. Why this is incorrect? Because if you observe the feet of camels, you will find that they are not small, right? Had it been small, the pressure of camel's body will be pointed pressure, and as a result of that, the feet of camels will get into soil, into sand, and as a result of that, they won't be able to walk on the sand. But in desert, we know that camels are able to walk on sand easily because they have a large feet, and also they have cushioned feet which protects the feet from sand. So this statement which says that it has small feet is incorrect statement. So only first two are correct, and we are supposed to find out how many are correct. So only two are correct, and that's why answer is B, only two. Question number 12, answer is B. Next now, 13th. Arrange the following atomic particles in decreasing order of their respective atomic weights. So atomic weights of neutrons is more. Then we have atomic weight of protons, and the least atomic weight is of electrons. And that's why our answer should be 3, 2, and then 1. So 3, 2, 1 is mentioned in option C, and that is our answer. Question number 13, answer is C. 14th now. The resistance of a conductor depends on which of the following factors? Right, so what makes conductor resist the flow of current? So first, area of cross section of the conductor, right? So this statement is a correct statement because resistant, yes, it depends on area of cross section. There are three important factors that you should be aware of. First, resistance is dependent on area of cross section. Secondly, it depends on length of the material. Thirdly, it depends on the material of which that element or that cable is made up of. And finally, it also depends on temperature. So area of cross section, yes. Length of the conductor, yes. The temperature of the conductor, yes. And nature of its material, of which material that conductor is made up of, also determines resistance. So all four are correct, and that's why answer is D, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Question number 14th, answer is D. 15th. With reference to the force of friction, consider the following statements. Right, so one of the important force that exists in our daily life is force of friction. Let us consider these statements. First, it is the resistive force acting between bodies that tends to oppose and damp out motion. Right, so we know that the force of friction is the result of interlocking between the surfaces, and as a result of interlocking between the surfaces, it damps out motion, it reduces the motion. So first statement is a correct statement. Second, this force works only on moving objects. Now this statement, though seems to be correct, is an incorrect statement because there are two types of force of friction. First is static friction, and second is kinetic friction. Second is kinetic friction. Right, so yes, objects in motion have a frictional force, but at the same time, static objects, that means those objects which are not in motion, also see the force of friction. It is called as static friction, and that's why second statement is incorrect statement. Third, friction force is greater when a rough surface is involved rather than a smooth surface. So frictional force is directly dependent on irregularities on the surface, and we know that irregularities are more in rough surface and lesser on smoother surface, and that's why third statement, which says that frictional force is greater for rough surface, is a correct statement. So first and third statements are correct, and that's why answer is C, 1 and 3 only. Question number 15, answer is C. Next now, 16th. Consider the following statements. First, the reflected light from a plane mirror forms a real image of the object. Now this statement is an incorrect statement. Why it is incorrect? Because when you read NCERTs, there are different activities performed in order to understand what kind of images will be formed by plane mirror, curved mirror, lenses, etc. So in plane mirror, the nature of image is virtual. It is not real. And that's why first statement is incorrect. The plane mirror forms virtual image. The image is at same distance from the object. It is laterally inverted. That means if you raise right hand in image, it appears that left hand is being raised. Then the image will be of same size. These are the characteristic of images formed by plane mirror. So plane mirror don't form a real image, it forms virtual image. First is incorrect. Second, the angle at which the light hits the mirror is equal to the angle at which it bounces off. That means the angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. So second statement is a correct statement. Third, light always travels in a straight line. So this is again a correct statement, right? Light always travels in a straight line. If there is any obstacle, it will get reflected from that obstacle. It will change the direction, but again it will travel in the straight line. So third statement is also a correct statement. So only two statements are correct statements, and that's why our answer is B, only two. Question number 16, answer is B. 17th. Which of the following are the properties of X-rays? So in the electromagnetic spectrum, we have one band, and that band is of X-rays. So we can say that X-rays are nothing but a part of electromagnetic spectrum or electromagnetic radiations. First statement, they do not require any medium for propagation. This property is correct for X-rays, or this statement is correct for X-rays, because X-rays, being a part of electromagnetic radiations, they do not need any medium. They can even pass through vacuum. Second, they are deflected by both magnetic and electric field. Now this statement is incorrect for X-rays. X-rays are not deflected by magnetic or electric field. Third, they travel at the speed of light. So this statement is a correct statement, because light is also a part of electromagnetic spectrum, and that's why the speed of light and speed of X-rays is same. First and third statements are correct statements, and that's why our answer is C, 1 and 3 only. Question number 17, answer is C. 18th question. With reference to shadows, consider the following. First, a source of light and an opaque object are mandatory preconditions for a shadow to form. Right? So when shadow will form? Shadow will form only when we have source of light. Similarly, in order to form shadow, what we need? We need an opaque object. If object is transparent object, shadow will not form. Right? So first statement, that's why, is correct statement. We need a source of light and opaque object. Opaque object is an object which do not allow light to pass through them. Second, we cannot identify the shape of an object from a shadow. Now you can even imagine certain shadow, right? So we know that when we walk, our shadow falls on ground, and on the basis of that we'll be able to identify our, let's say, head and all. So it is incorrect. We cannot find the shape of an object is incorrect. We can find shape of an object through on the basis of shadow, right? So answer of this question, as we are supposed to find out which statements are not correct, should be B2 only. Question number 18, answer is B. 19th question, thermoplastic polymers are the linear or slightly branched long chain molecules capable of repeatedly softening on heating and hardening on cooling. Which among the following are the examples of thermoplastic polymers? So what are thermoplastic polymers? Thermoplastic polymers are the polymers, or they are the plastic materials which we can mold and remold almost indefinitely. That means we will be able to collect them, we can melt them, and we can remold them again. That is what are thermoplastic polymers. Now we are supposed to find out which of the following are the examples of thermoplastic. So bakelite is not a thermoplastic, it is a thermosetting plastic or thermosetting polymer. That means once we give a particular shape to this bakelite, it won't change its shape, right? We won't be able to remold it. First statement and first example, that's why, is not of thermoplastic, it is thermosetting plastic. Polythene and polyvinyl chloride, that means PVC, are the examples of thermoplastic polymers. And that's why answer is 2 and 3 only. 2 and 3 only mentioned in option C. So question number 19, answer is C. Next now, 20th question. In the context of neutralization reaction, consider the following statements. So what is the neutralization reaction? Neutralization reaction is the reaction of acids and bases. As a result of reaction of acid with base, they will neutralize each other's characteristics or properties. And as a result of that, the substance that is formed after neutralization reaction will be neutral in nature. It will not be acidic nor basic. Let us consider these statements. First, when an acidic solution is mixed with a basic solution, both the solutions neutralize the effect of each other, right? So that is what is neutralization reaction. First is correct. Second, in this reaction, heat is always produced as an outcome, right? So this statement is also a correct statement. The neutralization reaction always leads to production of heat. They are exothermal reactions. Third, the resulting solution from this reaction can be acidic or basic depending on which solution has higher strength. Incorrect statement. We have just now discussed that when neutralization reaction occur, the byproduct will be neutral. It will not be acidic or basic. So third statement is incorrect statement. First two are correct. We are supposed to find out which statements are correct. Answer is D, 1 and 2 only. 20th question, answer is D. 21st now. Consider the following pairs. So on one hand we have type of elements and on other we have atomic structure. What we are supposed to find out? We are supposed to find out which pairs are correctly matched. So isotopes, yes, isotopes have equal atomic number. Then isobars also have equal mass number, and then we have isotones. Isotones have equal number of neutrons. So all these three pairs are correctly matched, and that's why answer of this question is 1, 2 and 3. Question number 21, answer is D. 22 now. In the context of genetic study, the term transcription refers to. So transcription is the process wherein the genetic information of DNA is copied on RNA. And this is one of the important processes that occurs in the protein synthesis in our cell. So let us consider these statements. A, the process of producing two identical replicas of DNA from one original DNA molecule is not transcription. First is incorrect. B, the process of copying genetic information from one strand of the DNA into RNA is the correct explanation of transcription. right? So in transcription, genetic information from DNA is copied on RNA. And you must have heard about RT-PCR during COVID-19. RT here stands for reverse transcription. In reverse transcription, what we do? We copy information of RNA on DNA, right? So transcription is related to copying up of information from DNA to RNA. B is the answer of question number 22. 23 now. Consider the following statements. First, dark colored clothes reflect most of the heat that falls on them. Incorrect statement. Dark colored clothes, they do not have albedo, they absorb all the heat. All or most of the heat is absorbed by dark colored clothes. Second, light colored clothes absorb most of the heat that falls on them. Incorrect. Light colored clothes have albedo, they will reflect the heat falling on them. Third, wool fibers are made up of keratin, which helps in insulating us from the cold. This statement is a correct statement. Wool consists of a protein called as keratin, and that helps us keep ourselves warm during cold. Third statement is correct. We are supposed to find out which statements are not correct. First two are not correct, and that's why answer is D, 1 and 2 only. Question number 23, answer is D. Next now, 24. Which of the following best describes enzymes? So what are enzymes? Enzymes are proteins, and those enzymes play an important role in various body mechanisms or various reactions that occur inside our body, and that's why those enzymes are also called as biomolecules. So correct explanation is given in D. They are proteins which perform the role of biological catalyst in the body. So answer is D. Question number 24, answer is D. Enzymes are proteins that act as a catalyst to make sure that various reactions that occur in our body are speeded up. Next now, 25th. In the context of plant cells, consider the following statements. First statement. The cell is enclosed by a thin outer boundary called the cytoplasm. This statement is an incorrect statement. The cell is enclosed by a thin outer boundary called the cell wall, not the cytoplasm. Second, most cells have a distinct centrally located spherical structure called the nucleus. So this is correct statement. Third, the nucleus is surrounded by a jelly-like substance called cell membrane. This is incorrect. The nucleus is surrounded by a jelly-like substance, and that is what is called as cytoplasm. So third statement is also incorrect. First and third statements are incorrect. We are supposed to find out how many statements are correct. Only 2 is correct, and that means answer is A. Only one statement is correct, right? So only second statement is correct. That means only one is correct, and hence answer is A. 25, answer is A. 26. With reference to genetic materials, DNA and RNA, consider the following statements. First, DNA chemically is less reactive and structurally more stable as compared to RNA, right? So this statement is a correct statement because RNA are more reactive compared to DNA, and that's why RNAs are also sometimes called as catalytic, right? The thymine present in the DNA gives certain kind of stability to DNA, but in RNA, thymine is replaced by uracil, and that's why first statement is a correct statement. DNAs are less reactive and relatively stable. Second, DNA is better for transmission of genetic information as compared to RNA. Incorrect statement. DNAs are better for the storage of genetic information. For transmission of genetic information, RNA is better, not the DNA, and that's why second statement is incorrect. Third, both DNA and RNA are able to mutate. So both are genetic materials, and that's why it is possible that RNA as well as DNA mutate. So third is correct. First and third are correct, and that's why answer of this question is B, 1 and 3 only. Question number 26, answer is B. 27. In the context of human digestive system, consider the following statements. First, the food passes through a continuous canal which begins at the buccal cavity and ends at the anus. So first statement is a correct statement. The digestive process, it starts at the buccal cavity and ends at the anus. Second, the inner walls of the stomach and the small intestine and the various glands associated with the canal, such as salivary glands, the liver and the pancreas, secrete digestive juices. Right? So this statement is also a correct statement. The inner walls of stomach, small intestine, then glands like liver, salivary glands and pancreas, they lead to secretion of various digestive juices or various hormones. As a result of that, there will be a process of digestion. So second statement is also correct. Third, the digestive juices convert complex substances of food into simpler ones and are then absorbed into the bloodstream. Right? So that is a correct statement. Digestive juices, what they do, they convert the complex substances of food into simpler substances, and those simpler substances are then absorbed in bloodstream and are taken to different parts of body to provide those parts of body with nutrition. So all these three statements are correct statements. We are supposed to find out how many of the above statements are correct. So 3 are the correct statements, and that's why answer is C. 27, answer is C. 28th now. With reference to the human tongue, consider the following statements. First, the tongue is a fleshy muscular organ covered with a layer of mucous membrane. Right? So this statement is a correct statement. Tongue is a fleshy muscular organ, and yes, tongue also has a layer of mucous membrane. First statement is correct. Second, it mixes saliva with the food during chewing and helps in swallowing food. Right? So that is the function of tongue. Third, the tongue has taste buds made up of specialized cells that can detect different chemicals in food. Right? So this statement is also a correct statement. Right? So all these three statements are correct statements regarding human tongue, and we are supposed to find out which statements are correct. So 1, 2, 3 must be the answer. Answer is B, 1, 2 and 3. 28th question, answer is B. 29th. With reference to series and parallel combinations of resistors in electric circuit, consider the following statements. So in series, current remains constant. In series combination of resistors, electric current remains constant, but voltage changes or voltage varies. But in parallel combination of resistors, voltage will be same, but current varies through the resistors. Right? So that is what you should be able to remember for series and parallel combination of resistors. Let us consider the statements first. In series combination, same current flows through each resistor. This statement is a correct statement. In series, same current flows through all resistors. Second, in parallel combination, voltage remains constant for each resistor. So this is again a correct statement regarding the parallel combination. Third, the total equivalent resistance in both combinations is always the same. Incorrect statement. We are saying that in series combination, the voltage would be different from all the resistors, but in parallel combination, voltage remains same. Right? So that's why we can say that total equivalent resistance in both the combinations will not be same, and that's why third statement is incorrect. First two are correct, third is incorrect. We are supposed to find out which statements are correct, and that's why answer is B, 1 and 2 only. Question number 29, answer is B. 30th question. In the context of transport system in plants, consider the following statements. First, xylem transport products of photosynthesis from the leaves to other parts of the plant. Incorrect statement. Xylem transports water and related nutrients or related minerals. So first statement is incorrect. Second, phloem moves water and minerals obtained from the soil to the leaves. Incorrect statement. Phloem takes food produced during the process of photosynthesis to different parts. And that's why we can say that these two statements are interchanged. Fine. Xylem moves water and minerals. Phloem moves products of photosynthesis from leaves. Third now. Transpiration helps in the absorption and upward movement of water from roots to the leaves, right? So transpirational loss of water helps to restore water from the roots or from the soil, and for that there will be upward movement of water. Third is a correct statement. So which statements are correct? Third statement is correct, and that's why answer is B. 30th question, answer is B. Next now, 31. Consider the following statements. First, a medium is required for the transfer of heat by radiation, right? So this statement is this first statement is an incorrect statement, because we know that for the transfer of heat we do not need a medium. Second, all hot bodies radiate heat because all objects emit electromagnetic waves, right? So this is a correct statement. Hot bodies lead to emission of electromagnetic waves, and that leads to radiation of heat as well. Third, when heat falls on an object, a part of it is reflected, a part of it is absorbed, and a part of it is transmitted. This is again a correct statement. So only first statement is incorrect. Second and third statements are correct statements. We are supposed to find out how many statements are correct. Only two statements are correct, and that's why answer is B. 31, answer is B. 32. Which of the following statements are correct regarding arteries and veins? First, arteries carry blood away from the heart and veins bring it back to the heart. This statement is a correct statement. Arteries carry blood away from the heart, and that's why the walls of arteries are thick. Veins carry blood towards heart, and that's why walls of veins are thinner. Second statement, veins have thicker walls than arteries. Incorrect. It is arteries which have thicker walls than veins. Only one is correct, and that's why answer of this question is A, one only. 32, answer is A. 33. Given below are two statements labeled as assertion and reason. Read these statements carefully. Right, so question is in the form of assertion and reason. Assertion, materials which allow heat to pass through them easily are good conductors of heat. Right, so assertion is correct. Reason, the presence of few free electrons in the materials makes the transfer of heat easy. Incorrect. Presence of not few. More the free electrons, better will be the element acting as a conductor. Right. So only A is correct, R is incorrect. A is correct, A is true, but R is false, which is given in C, which is given in option C. So question number 33, answer is C. 34 now. Consider the following pairs. So we are supposed to find out which pairs are correctly matched. On one hand, we have natural source, and on other acid in those natural sources. First, vinegar. Vinegar does not have methanoic acid. Vinegar consists of acetic acid. Vinegar consists of acetic acid. So first is incorrect. Curd, yes, it consists of lactic acid. Tamarind, it consists of tartaric acid. It is also correct. Ant sting, it is said that it consists of ethanoic acid. No, it is not ethanoic. It is methanoic. Methanoic acid, which is also called as formic acid. Right, so third is correct, fourth is incorrect. So only two pairs are correct, and that's why answer is B. Only two pairs are correct. Next now, 35. Which of the following are examples of a chemical process? First, melting of a ice cube is not a chemical process. It is mere a change of state, and that's why it is not a chemical process or chemical reaction. Next, second, formation of vinegar from sugarcane juice. Yes, it is a chemical process. When sugarcane juice lead to formation of a vinegar, that is what we can say that acetic acid or a new product is formed, and hence it is a chemical change. Third, mixing sugar in water is also not a chemical process, right? It is just a kind of mixing up. There is no new product that is getting formed as a result of this reaction. So only second statement is a correct statement regarding chemical process, and that's why answer is C, 2 only. Question number 35, answer is C. 36. Read the following statements carefully. First, litmus is a natural indicator that can be used to test the pH of a solution, right? So this statement is a correct statement because litmus is produced, it is derived from lichens, and that's why it is a natural indicator. First is correct. Second, blue litmus turns red in basic solutions because the hydroxide ions in the base react with the blue litmus. So this statement is incorrect statement. Blue litmus turns red in acidic solution. It turns red in acidic solution because the hydrogen ions in the acid react with the blue litmus. So second statement is incorrect. Third, red litmus turns blue in basic solution. Again, this statement is incorrect. Turns blue in basic solution because the hydroxyl ions or hydroxide ions in the base react with the red litmus. Third statement is also incorrect. Second and third statements are incorrect statements. So we are supposed to find out how many statements are incorrect. 2 statements are incorrect, and that is our answer. Question number 36, answer is B. Next now, 37. In context of a periscope, consider the following statements, right? So periscopes are often used in, were used in the submarines in order to know the activities going on surface of water. Submarines used to use periscopes. Periscopes, they are a combination of mirrors and lenses. Let us consider the statements. First, it is an optical instrument that uses the phenomenon of refraction to see around linear edges. Incorrect statement. It is not refraction, it is reflection. First is incorrect. Second, a simple periscope can be made by placing 2 mirrors in a Z-shaped box. So this statement is a correct statement. We can make a periscope by keeping 2 mirrors in a Z-shaped box. Second is correct. Third, periscopes are often used in military applications such as tanks and submarines. This is correct. Second and third are correct. First is incorrect. We are supposed to find out how many statements are correct. 2 statements are correct, and that's why answer is B. 37, answer is B. 38. Which of the following statements best describes covalent bond? So covalent bonds are formed as a result of sharing of electrons. So statement A, it is the interatomic linkage that results from the sharing of an electron pair between 2 atoms. This is correct, and that is our answer. Other type of bond is electrovalent bonds. Electrovalent bonds are formed as a result of transfer of electrons, not sharing, transfer of electrons. 38, answer is A. 39, consider the following statements. First, translucent materials allow all light to pass through them. Translucent materials allow only few light rays to pass through them. It is transparent materials which allow all light to pass through them, not translucent. First is incorrect. Second, opaque materials allow some light to pass through them, but not all of it. It is an explanation of translucent material. Opaque materials, on the other hand, do not allow any light to pass through them. So both these statements are incorrect. We are supposed to find out which statements are correct. Neither should be our answer. Neither 1 nor 2. Question number 39, answer is D. 40th question. In the context of soil, consider the following statements. First, excessive use of chemical fertilizers can make the soil acidic. Now this statement is a correct statement, right? So we have discussed about neutralization reaction. Neutralization reaction is a reaction wherein acids and bases react with each other to produce a product which is neutral, which will not be acidic nor basic. So there are certain applications of neutralization reaction in our daily life, and one of them is in the treatment of soil. When soil because of the use of chemical fertilizers becomes too acidic, what we do, we used slaked lime in order to treat that soil, and for that we are using neutralization reaction only. First statement, which says that excessive use of chemical fertilizers make soil acidic, is a correct statement. Second, the use of slaked lime in the affected areas of soil can help in improving its pH balance and make it more suitable for plant growth. This statement is also a correct statement, right? When we use slaked lime in areas of soil which have become acidic, we are carrying out the process of the reaction of neutralization. Third, if the soil is basic, organic matter is added to it, which releases acids that neutralize the basic nature of the soil. Right, so this is again one of the solutions. When soil is basic in nature, what we do, we add organic material. Organic material releases acids there, and as a result of that, we are again carrying out the process of neutralization. All these three statements are correct statements, and that's why answer is C, 1, 2, and 3. Next now, 41. Consider the following pairs. So on one hand we have parts of an eye, and on other we have their function. We are supposed to find out which of them are correctly matched. First, cornea. Its function is refraction of light entering the eye. This is the correct function of cornea. Second, pupil. Regulates and controls the amount of light entering the eye. This is again correct. Pupil, it reduces or increases size based on the intensity of light, and thus it regulates the amount of light that is entering in the eye. Third, retina controls the size of pupil. Incorrect. It is iris that controls the size of pupil, not retina. Retina is a surface of eye on which the inverted image will be created by the lenses of our eye. So only first and second pairs are correctly matched, and that's why answer is A, 1 and 2 only. Question number 41, answer is A. 42. Toothpastes help in preventing tooth decay by neutralizing the excessive acid, right? So because of the bacterial reaction or bacterial actions in our mouth, they lead to production of acid, and as a result of that acid, there may be tooth decay. Tooth decay generally occurs when pH value of our mouth falls close to 5.5 pH, and that is the reason that leads to tooth decay. And hence, in order to treat this, what we use toothpaste, because toothpastes are basic in nature. Reaction of acid and base leads to neutralization, and that is why answer is B. 42, answer is B. 43. With reference to the rusting of iron, consider the following statements. First, rusting is a chemical process that causes iron to oxidize or combine with oxygen. Correct statement. Second, rusting can be prevented by applying a coat of paint or grease to iron articles or by depositing a layer of a metal like chromium or zinc, right? So this is again a correct statement. If we want to prevent rusting, we'll have to make sure that there is no contact between iron and air, which consists of oxygen. And for that, what we can use a coat of paint, grease, or metals like chromium or zinc. Third, the rate of rusting decreases if the content of moisture in the air is high. Incorrect statement. Rate of rusting increases if the moisture in the air is high. Third statement is incorrect. First two are correct, and we are supposed to find out which statement is not correct. Third statement is not correct, and that's why answer is A, 3 only. Next now, 44. Given below are two statements labeled as assertion and reason. Read these statements. Assertion. Detergents are often used as cleaning agents to clean greasy dirt from fabrics. Right? So water alone won't be able to clean greasy dirt from fabrics, and that's why what we use detergents. Detergents have two ends. One is hydrophilic and second is hydrophobic. This establishes a link between water and dirt, and that's why we will be able to clean the dirt in the form of dirt on the fabric easily. So what detergent do? Detergent make sure that there is a link formed between water and the dirt. First, or assertion is a correct. Reason. Detergent molecules reduce the surface tension between water and oil. So this is again a correct statement, and it is the correct explanation of the assertion as well. So answer of this question is both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of statement A. Answer is A in this case. 44, answer is A. 45 now. Match the following pairs. So on one hand we have assertion and on other we have reason. First, the color of the sun appears reddish during sunset. So during sunset and sunrise, we know that the color of sky or color of sun appears reddish. Why it happens? It happens because the sun rays during sunset or sunrise have to cover a larger distance. As a result of that, the wavelength like blue color will be scattered away. And as a result of that, we will be able to get only red color in our eyes. And hence, first impact or first assertion can be matched with scattering of light rays is witnessed due to presence of atmospheric particles. One can be matched with B. Second, the sky appears dark to passengers flying in the air in an airplane at a very high altitude because scattering of light is not witnessed in that particular part. When high altitudes are used for flying, there is no atmosphere, and as a result of that, there is no scattering of light. Third, the sky appears blue during the day because of the scattering of blue light. Right? So it should be matched with A. So answer should be BCA, which is mentioned in option B. One is matched with B, second is matched with C, and third is matched with A. So 45, answer is B. 46. Consider the following statements. First, muscle cells in human body can respire anaerobically, but only for a short period of time. Right? So this statement is a correct statement. When excessive exercise is being done, energy is required, and that energy will be produced by muscles by carrying out respiration anaerobically. Right? And in that case, as a result of respiration by muscles, a byproduct in the form of lactic acid will be produced. So first statement is a correct statement. Yes, muscles can carry out anaerobic respiration, but only for a short period of time. Second, muscle cramps occur with the accumulation of lactic acid. This is again a correct statement. As muscles carry out anaerobic respiration, they lead to production of lactic acid, which results in muscle cramps. So both these statements are correct statements, and that's why answer is C, both 1 and 2. 46, answer is C. 47. Which of the following statements are correct regarding colloids? Right? Colloids are heterogeneous mixtures. Let us consider the statements. First, they are homogeneous mixture, incorrect. Second, they are found in liquid and gas mediums only, incorrect. We have, for example, jelly, which is not a liquid, which is a solid state. So they are found in solid, liquid and gas as well. Third, they cannot be separated by process of filtration. This statement is a correct statement. Colloid mixtures, we won't be able to separate using the process of filtration. For example, milk. Is it possible for us to separate various constituents of milk using the process of filtration? No, it is not possible, and that's why third statement is a correct statement, and that is our answer. Question number 47, answer is 3. Answer is D, 3 only. 48. A property of matter by which it continues in its existing state of rest or uniform motion in a straight line unless that state is changed by an external force. This property is known as the state of inertia. It is the state of inertia. When the object remains at the state of rest or remains in the state of motion, when there is no external force applied on that object, that state is called as state of inertia. 48, answer is C. 49. A solution containing A reacts with crushed eggshells to produce B gas that turns lime water milky. The A and B are. So the eggshells are made up of calcium carbonate. And when hydrochloric acid reacts with eggshells, it leads to production of carbon dioxide. And this carbon dioxide turns lime water milky. And that's why answer is A in this case is hydrochloric acid and B in this case is carbon dioxide. And that's why answer is B, hydrochloric acid and carbon dioxide respectively. 49, answer is B. 50th question. Read the following statements carefully. First, bromine is the only non-metal which is liquid at room temperature. This statement is a correct statement regarding bromine. Bromine is a non-metal and it is liquid at room temperature. Second, iodine is a lustrous non-metal. Generally, non-metals are not lustrous, but iodine is a non-metal which has luster. Third, mercury is the only metal that occurs as liquid at room temperature. So this statement is also a correct statement. So all these three statements are correct. We are supposed to find out correct statements only. Answer of this question is D, 1, 2 and 3. 49. 50th question, answer is D. Next now, 51. Consider the following enzymes of digestive system. How many of the above enzymes of digestive system breaks down starch into sugar? So pepsin breaks down protein. Even protease breaks down protein or proteins. Salivary amylase breaks down carbohydrates or starch. Carbohydrates or starch. And that leads to production of sugar. Lipase, on the other hand, breaks down fats. And that's why only one digestive enzyme breaks down starch and leads to production of sugar, and that is salivary amylase. Answer of this question is 3. We are supposed to find out how many enzymes lead to production of sugar from starch. Only one, and that's why answer is A, only one. 51, answer is A. 52. In the context of hard water, consider the following statements. First, hardness in water is caused by dissolved salts of calcium and magnesium. Right? So this statement is a correct statement. In hard water, we have dissolved salts of calcium and magnesium. First is correct. Second, hard water is known to increase the efficiency of boilers. Incorrect statement. It reduces the efficiency of boilers because of the accumulation of salt present in hard water. Third, treatment with washing soda removes hardness of the water. Now this statement is a correct statement. Only second is incorrect. First and third are correct. We are supposed to find out correct statements. First and third are correct, and that is our answer. Answer of this question is B. 53. Graphene is known in the electronics industry as a miracle material. In this context, which of the following would be the potential application of it? Right, so graphene, yes, it has a number of applications in electronic industries because of its properties, like it is a good conductor of heat and electricity. It has a high strength, but its weight is relatively lesser. Let us consider the statements. Let us consider the applications in of graphene. First, improving battery performance in energy devices. Yes, this is one of the applications of graphene. Second, cheaper solar devices is also an application. Third, water filtration and purification process is also an application of graphene. Right? So graphene can be used in these applications. All these three statements are correct, and that's why answer is D, 1, 2 and 3. Answer of this question is D. 54. Which among the following are exocrine glands in the human body? So exocrine glands, they lead to secretion of certain hormones, and that will be released on the surface of body. It will not be released in the body stream. It will be released on the surface of body. So mammary glands, yes, they are exocrine glands. Pituitary glands are not exocrine, they are endocrine glands. Tear ducts are also exocrine glands. Other exocrine glands are like they are like salivary gland, and even sweat ducts are also exocrine. So answer is 1 and 3 mentioned in option C. Question number 54, answer is C. 55. A person stands on loose sand and then lies down on it. He goes deeper into the sand while standing than while lying down. Which one of the following is the reason responsible for this? Right? So when person is standing, pressure will be on a smaller area, and that's why the legs will go deeper in sand. But when person lie down on sand, the pressure reduces. Why? Because pressure is force per unit area. And that's why answer of this question is C. The pressure on the sand is higher while standing. Answer of this question is C. 55. Answer is C. 56. Which of the following statements are correct regarding ozone? First, ozone is a colorless, odorless gas. This statement is an incorrect statement, because ozone, yes, it has a color, it is pale, it is a bluish color, and odor, yes, it has a pungent odor. First statement, that's why, is incorrect. Second, it is formed from dioxygen by the action of ultraviolet light. So due to UV rays, the oxygen molecule is broken down into atoms, and these atoms will be able to react with oxygen molecule present in the vicinity, leading to formation of ozone, which is O3. So second statement, that's why, is correct. Third, ozone is used in disinfection. Yes, in disinfection we use ozone, and that process is called as ozonization. Third statement is correct statement. Second and third are correct, and that's why answer is C. 2 and 3 only. 56, answer is C. 57. With reference to WBCs, white blood cells in the human body, consider the following statements. First, white blood cells are white in color due to the lack of hemoglobin. First statement is a correct statement. In WBCs, there is no hemoglobin, and as a result of that, they are white in color. Our blood gets its red color because of the presence of hemoglobin. First statement is correct. Second, white blood cells are the first line of defense against pathogen. Now, this statement is an incorrect statement. Why it is incorrect? Because cells, be it WBCs or other cells, they are not first line of defense. First line of defense is external. For example, mucus that is produced in our nose during the illness will be the first line of defense. Skin will be our first line of defense. And that's why WBCs, which are, this statement which says that WBCs are first line of defense is incorrect. It is second line of defense. Answer of this question is A, 1 only. 57, answer is A. 58. Which of the following parts of the brain is responsible for controlling body temperature and the release of hormones by the pituitary gland? So this is the result of hypothalamus, right? Hypothalamus is responsible for controlling body temperature and release of hormones. On the other hand, frontal lobe, it controls voluntary actions. Then medulla oblongata, it controls involuntary actions, and cerebellum, it controls our muscles. Fine. So answer of this question is B. 58, answer is B. 59. Consider the following organs of human body. Which of the organs given above help in eliminating excretory elements in the human body? Fine. So kidneys, we know that they play an important role in the excretory system. Lungs also play an important role in the excretion, that means removal of CO2. Liver also leads to removal of harmful products. Harmful products are broken down by liver and they are flushed out of our body, flushed out of liver through blood or bile juice. Skin, we know that skin also plays an important role in the excretory excretion of elements. So all four play an important role, and that's why answer of this question is D. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 59, answer is D. 60th question. In the context of magnetic resonance imaging, MRI, consider the following statements. First, MRI scanning uses X-rays in the magnetic field to produce images of body parts. Incorrect statement. In MRI, we do not use X-rays. It uses magnetic field. It does not use X-rays. First statement is incorrect. Second, while MRI scanning cannot produce the pictures of bone, computerized tomography, CT scan, can produce pictures of bone. Now this statement is again an incorrect statement. MRIs can produce pictures of bones and CT scan also can produce pictures of bone. Right? So for second statement is incorrect. Third, jewelry and other wearable metallic accessories are not allowed during MRI since it interferes with the magnetic field. Right? So this statement is a correct statement. During MRI scan, jewelry and other metallic items are to be removed. So only third statement is correct. We are supposed to find out correct statement. Answer is A, 3 only. 60th question, answer is A. 61 now. With reference to adenosine triphosphate, that is ATP, which of the following statements are correct? First, it is produced during the process of cellular respiration. Right? So this statement is a correct statement. We know that ATP is produced during the cellular respiration, and this ATP is then used for various other chemical processes. First statement is correct. Second, it provides the energy needed to drive the endothermic reactions in the cell. Right? So this is again a correct statement. ATP produced during respiration will be used for various reactions in our cell. Both these statements are correct statements. We are supposed to find out correct statements only. Answer is C, both 1 and 2. 61, answer is C. 62. Read the following statements about autotrophic nutrition carefully. First, carbon and energy requirements of the autotrophic organism are fulfilled by the process of photosynthesis. Autotrophic nutrition means the nutrition wherein food is produced by the organism itself. So in autotrophic nutrition, yes, carbon and energy requirements are met through the process of photosynthesis. First is correct. Second, in the process of food production by autotrophs, chemical energy is converted into light energy. Now this statement is an incorrect statement because we know that during food production, light energy is converted into chemical energy in the form of food. So second statement is incorrect. Third, the gaseous exchange among autotrophic organisms take place through stomata during the process of photosynthesis. Correct statement. Right? During the process of photosynthesis, stomata opening lead to exchange of gases. So first and third statements are correct. Second statement is incorrect, and that's why answer is B, 1 and 3 only. Next, 63. With reference to the motion of vehicles, consider the following statements. First, the distance moved by two objects in a given interval of time can help us in deciding which object is faster and which is slower. Right? So if time period is fixed and if we know that how much distance is covered by two objects in that fixed time period, obviously we will be able to determine which object is slower and which one is faster. First is correct. Second, the speed of an object is determined by the mass of the object, the force acting on the object, and the medium through which the object is moving. This is again a correct statement. Speed depends upon mass of object, force, and the medium through which it is traveling. Second is correct. Third, the speed of a vehicle will be constant only if the vehicle is moving in a straight line while external forces are acting on it. Now this statement is incorrect because the speed of vehicle will remain constant when no external force acts on it. And that's why third statement is incorrect, which says that speed will remain constant when external forces are acting on it. Incorrect statement. Only first two are correct. We are supposed to find out how many statements are correct. Only two are correct, and that's why answer is B, only two. 63, answer is B. 64 now. Consider the following statements. Question is, how many of the above can be estimated using the distance time graph? So on the basis of distance time graph, we can know the speed of an object. Secondly, we can even understand the acceleration, whether the object is seeing or facing an acceleration or not. Thirdly, whether the object is moving in a straight line or a curved path, that also we can understand on the basis of distance time graph. Because in distance time graph, we will be able to know uniform and non-uniform motion. And generally on straight line we have uniform motion, and on curved path we have non-uniform motion. And that we will be able to understand on the basis of distance time graph. Fourth, whether the object is speeding up or slowing down, that also we will be able to understand. That means we will be able to understand acceleration. So all these four we can know on the basis of distance time graph, and that's why answer is D, all four. 64, answer is D. 65. In the context of a simple pendulum, consider the following statements. First, the period of a pendulum depends on the length of the pendulum and the acceleration due to gravity. Now this is one of the important statements related to pendulum. So the period of pendulum depends on length of the pendulum and acceleration due to gravity. First statement is correct. Second, the periodic motion of a pendulum is very regular, right? So this is again a correct statement regarding the pendulum. The periodic motion that we are able to see in pendulum is very regular. It is highly regular. Third, the period of a pendulum is dependent on the number of oscillations. Now, this statement is an incorrect statement because we just now discussed that the period of pendulum is dependent on length of the pendulum and the acceleration due to gravity. It is not dependent on the number of oscillations. So only first and second statements are correct statements. We are supposed to find out how many statements are correct. Only two are correct, and that's why that is our answer. Next question is question number 66. Consider the following statements. First is, the polarity of the terminals in an electric cell determines the direction of current flow in the cell. Now this statement is a correct statement. This statement is correct because we know that polarity, that means the charges, determine the flow of current. Current flows from positive terminal to negative terminal, and that's why polarity determines the direction of flow of current, and hence answer of this question, first statement is a correct statement. Second now, the symbol for an electric cell is a circle with two lines extending from it, right? So it is a kind of this arrangement. It is a kind of this arrangement, right? So second statement is also a correct statement. So both these statements are correct statements. We are supposed to find out correct statements only, and that's why answer of this question is C, both 1 and 2. Sorry, cut. फिर से ले रहा हूँ ये क्वेश्चन। Now the next question is question number 66. Consider the following statements. First, the polarity of the terminals in an electric cell determines the direction of current flow in the cell. Right? So this statement is a correct statement because we know that electric current flows from positive terminal to negative terminal, and that's why polarity plays an important role in the direction of the current flow. First statement is correct. Second, the symbol for an electric cell is a circle with two lines extending from it. So this statement is also a correct statement. That is how the symbol of electric cell is, and hence we are supposed to find out correct statements. Both the statements are correct, and hence answer is C, both 1 and 2. Next question now, 67. In the context of light and its properties, consider the following statements. First, a real image is formed when light rays from an object diverge after being reflected by a mirror. Now this statement is an incorrect statement because real image is formed when light rays from an object converge, not diverge. They converge. When they converge after being reflected by a mirror, then we get a real image. Otherwise, if they are diverging, that would lead to formation of virtual image. And that's why first statement is an incorrect statement. Second statement now. A virtual image cannot be obtained on a screen. This is one of the features of virtual image. Virtual image, we won't be able to see it on screen. And that's why screen can be anything. It can be a wall, it can be a tree. We won't be able to see the virtual image on the screen, and that's why this statement is a correct feature of virtual image. Third, the image of an object formed by a plane mirror is a real image and is always the same size as the object. Now, yes, it is of the same size, but it is not a real image. It is a virtual image, and that's why third statement is also a wrong statement. Third statement is wrong because image formed by plane mirror is not real, it is virtual. It is of same size. It is laterally inverted. That means if you raise right hand in image, you may see left hand is being raised. Also, it is at the same distance from an object. It is at the same distance from the mirror the way object is. Let's say object is 5 centimeters away, then image will also be 5 centimeters away, right? So these are the features of images formed by plane mirror. So only second statement is correct statement. We are supposed to find out how many statements are correct. So only one statement is correct, and hence that is our answer. Answer is A, only one. Next now, 68. Identify the macronutrient having the following characteristic features. Right, so we have certain statements, and on the basis of that, we have to find out which macronutrient these statements point towards. First, it is a compound of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. Now, from this, it would be difficult for us to identify that macronutrient. Let's read second. Physical growth is hampered by its deficiency. If protein deficiency is there, it would hamper physical growth. Third, in case of necessity, this provides energy to body. Right? Proteins can also be used to provide energy. Primarily, it is carbohydrates that will give energy, then it is fat, and then proteins. Third, it controls the development of genetic characters. Protein plays an important role in the development of genetic characters. Let's say we have some information, genetic information. That genetic information is expressed to provide those characteristics. Now, what do we mean by expression of genetic characteristic? It is nothing but formation of proteins. So when proteins are formed related to the genetic information, then only we'll be able to see those characteristics. And that's why on the basis of these 4 statements, we can say that macronutrient is nothing but proteins. So question number 68, answer is C. 69. Consider the following statements about electromagnets. What are electromagnets? These are temporary magnets that lead to formation of magnetic field when electric current pass through them. Let us consider the statements. First, an electromagnet is a coil that behaves like a magnet when electric current flows through it. First statement is a correct statement. Second, electromagnets can be used to lift heavy loads such as scrap metal in a recycling plant. So this is also a correct statement. Electromagnets are often used in cranes to lift heavy objects. Third, the magnetic field produced by an electromagnet is strongest at the center of the coil. This statement is an incorrect statement. The magnetic field produced by electromagnets would be stronger at its end, not at the center. At the ends of electromagnet, we have strong magnetic field. So third statement is incorrect. First 2 are correct. We are supposed to find out the statements which are not correct. So only third is not correct, and that's why answer is A, 3 only. Question number 69, answer is A. 70. MCBs or miniature circuit breakers are increasingly being used in place of fuses in electrical currents. Which of the following are reasons responsible for this? So MCBs, or earlier we used to use fuses, because there are heating properties of electric current. When electric current passes through a particular object, it leads to production of heat. Now when we use fuse or MCB, we are using them as a protective measure for the objects connected in the electric circuit subsequently. Because when excessive amount of current flows through fuse or MCB, what happens? They melt. And as a result of melting, circuit breaks, and the objects which are connected, let's say ACs, TVs and all, those objects we will be able to protect from the excessive current. And that is why we use MCBs. Let us consider the statements related to MCBs. First, MCBs are more sensitive to current overloads, right? So this statement is a correct statement. You must have heard about falling of MCBs. So MCBs are sensitive to overload of current, and that's why it falls. Second, MCBs can be used to protect circuits of different size and current. So this is correct statement. Based on the need, we can use MCBs. That means it can be used for different size of devices as well as different currents. Third, MCBs are reusable, right? So once it falls down, we can put it up again, and that's why it is reusable. Fourth, MCBs have less maintenance cost. That is also a correct statement regarding MCBs. So all 4 statements are correct statements regarding MCBs. We are supposed to find out correct answer, correct statements. All 4 are correct, and that's why it is our answer. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Question number 70, answer is 4. 71 now. Which of the following pairs are correctly matched? So on one hand we have vision defect, and on other we have correction lenses. That means these vision defects can be corrected with the help of which lenses? So first is myopia. Myopia is also called as nearsightedness. Why? Because person suffering from myopia would be able to see near objects only. Its far away objects will not be at infinity, it will be closer than infinity. And as a result of this, that person won't be able to see the far away objects. And that's why myopia is also called as nearsightedness. Fine. Now in order to treat myopia, we can use concave lens. Concave lens is used for the treatment of myopia, but here it is matched with bifocal lens, which is incorrect, and that's why first pair is incorrect. Second, hypermetropia. Now, what is hypermetropia? In hypermetropia, a person is able to see far away objects, but nearby objects that person won't be able to see clearly. And as a result of that, we can say that the near point of eye will not remain at 25 centimeters. It will go farther from the person, right? And that is what is hypermetropia. In order to treat hypermetropia, what we use convex lenses. And that's why second pair is a correct pair. Third is presbyopia. Presbyopia is a kind of vision defect that occurs because of age. With age, the ability to adjust focal length reduces. Ability of lens to adjust focal length reduces, and as a result of that, person suffers from presbyopia. And for the treatment of presbyopia, what we use? For the treatment of presbyopia, we use bifocal lenses. And that's why third pair is incorrect. Fine, only second pair is incorrect. We are supposed to find out which pairs are correctly matched. Only second, and that's why answer is C, 2 only. Question number 71, answer is C. 72 now. Which of the following diseases are caused by bacteria? So polio is not caused by bacteria, it is caused by virus. Typhoid is caused by bacteria, and that's why it is our answer. Malaria is caused by a protozoa. Then diarrhea is caused by virus, and that's why first, third, fourth are not caused by bacteria. Only typhoid is caused by bacteria, and that's why it is our answer. Answer is B, 2 only. Question number 72, answer is B. 73 now. Which among the following could be considered as examples of refraction of light? So in refraction of light, there is change in the direction of light as it passes from one medium to another medium. And this change in the direction of light occurs because of change in the speed of light in different medium. And the examples of refraction of light can be seen in atmosphere. And those examples are called as atmospheric refraction. And as a result of atmospheric refraction, we are able to see twinkling stars. Also, we can see sunrise 2 minutes before the actual arrival of sun above the horizon. And we will be able to see extended sunset despite the setting of sun below the horizon for 2 minutes. And that is again an example of atmospheric refraction. So both these are the results of twinkling of stars and advanced sunrise and delayed sunset are the examples of atmospheric refraction, and that's why answer of this question is C. Question number 73, answer is C. 74 now. Match the following pairs. So on one hand, we have a list of different chemicals, and on other we have their uses. So let us consider the pairs. First is sodium carbonate. So sodium carbonate, we know that it is used in washing. Sodium bicarbonate is used as baking powder, or it is used in baking. Then sodium peroxide is used to produce oxygen, because sodium peroxide can be reduced to produce oxygen. And then sodium thiosulfate is used in photography. Earlier it was used to use, these days we hardly use those cameras with reels or rolls. But earlier when we used to use those cameras with rolls, in order to develop the copies of photos, we used sodium thiosulfate. And that's why it can be matched with first. So answer must be 2, 3, 4 and 1. 2, 3, 4 and 1 is mentioned in option C. And that is our answer. Question number 74, answer is C. 75 now. With reference to the types of immunity, consider the following statements. First, acquired immunity is non-specific type of defense that is acquired at the time of birth. Incorrect statement. Acquired immunity is acquired over the life of an individual. As that individual is exposed to different kind of bacteria or viruses, that person will develop immunity for those bacteria or viruses. And that's why acquired immunity is antigen specific. It is not general, it is antigen specific. And that's why first statement is incorrect. Acquired immunity is a specific type of immunity or specific type of defense that is acquired as that person lives. It is not present since the birth. Second statement, innate immunity is pathogen specific and is characterized by memory. Now this statement is again an incorrect statement because innate immunity is there in human beings since birth. And this innate immunity is not pathogen specific, it is general in nature. It is not the result of any one pathogen, it is general in nature, and that's why second statement is also incorrect statement. So we are supposed to find out correct statements, none of them is correct, and that's why answer is D, neither one nor two. 75, answer is D. 76. Read the following statements carefully. First, fats contain less proportion of oxygen as compared to carbohydrates. Now this statement is a correct statement because in fats we have lesser oxygen compared to carbohydrates. Second, carbohydrates provide more energy as provided by the same amount of fats. Now this is reverse. Fats, same amount of fats will provide more energy than same amount of carbohydrates, and that's why second statement is incorrect statement. Third, saturated fats are solid at room temperature, right? So animal fats are called as saturated fats. So those are solid at room temperature, and that's why third statement is a correct statement. So we are supposed to find out correct statements. Only first and third are correct, and that's why answer is B, 1 and 3 only. Question number 76, answer is B. 77 now. With reference to nuclear fission, consider the following statements. Right, so nuclear fission is one of the types of nuclear reactions that is being used across the globe as of now as a source of, as a reaction for the production of nuclear energy. Right now, we do not have nuclear fusion reactors in any part of the world. Across the globe, nuclear energy currently is being produced with the help of nuclear fission. First statement. It is an exothermic reaction releasing huge amount of energy as gamma rays. First statement is correct. Second, spontaneous fission is a type of radioactive decay. Second statement is also a correct statement. Spontaneous fission, that means the fission reaction that occurs naturally, is a kind of radioactive decay. Second is correct. Third, the enormous energy released in an atom bomb comes from uncontrolled fission, right? So this statement is also a correct statement. In atom bombs, which reaction is carried out? It is nuclear fission reaction. And in hydrogen bombs, which reaction do we carry out? Both. Initially, it is nuclear fission, and as a result of nuclear fission, it will lead to nuclear fusion. Fine. So all these three statements are correct statements regarding nuclear fission. We are supposed to find out statements which are correct. Answer is D, 1, 2 and 3. 78. Read the following statements regarding Teflon carefully. So Teflon is one of the synthetic materials, and its use is there in number of sectors because it does not corrode, it does not have scratches on it. Let us consider the statements. First, it is chemically inert and resistant to attack by corrosive reagents. So this statement is a correct statement, and that's why it is considered as a versatile element used in number of sectors. Second, it is used as a non-stick coating for cookware. This is also a correct statement. In order to prepare non-stick cookwares, we use Teflon. So both these statements are correct statements. We are supposed to find out correct statements. Answer is C, both 1 and 2. 78, answer is C. 79. Consider the following pairs. So on one hand, we have elements, and on other, we have structural components of. We are supposed to find out which of the pairs are correctly matched. That means which elements are structural components of which of these compounds or these substances. So nitrogen, yes, nitrogen is a structural component of nucleic acid and proteins. Second, magnesium, yes, magnesium is also a structural component of chlorophyll. Iron is also a structural component of hemoglobin, and that's why all these three pairs are correctly matched, and hence answer is D, 1, 2 and 3. 79, answer is D. 80th question. With reference to the communicable diseases, consider the following diseases. How many of the above are not listed under the category of communicable diseases? So what we are supposed to find out? We are supposed to find out which of these diseases are not communicable diseases. So what are communicable diseases? Which can be passed on from one person to another. So which are not communicable diseases? So cholera, let us consider the pairs like cancer, diabetes, hypertension, right? So cancer, diabetes, hypertension are communicable diseases, are not communicable diseases. But cholera, HIV and malaria are communicable. That means they can be passed on from one person to another person. So only 3 are not communicable diseases, and that's why answer of this question is only 3. 80th question, answer is C. 81 now. In the context of centralized laboratory network, CLN, consider the following statements. So CLN, what CLN will do? CLN will analyze, will study the vaccines that are being developed for various pandemics and epidemics. Right? So let us consider the statement first. CLN is a part of the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovation, CEPI. First statement is a correct statement. CLN, yes, it is a part of CEPI. Second, at present, India is not the part of centralized laboratory network. This is incorrect. Recently, ICMR, NIV became the part of CLN, and that's why second statement becomes incorrect statement. Third, the primary objective of the CLN is to conduct rigorous testing of potential vaccines during pandemic and epidemic outbreaks. Right? So this is the purpose for which CLN is established, to analyze, to study the potential vaccines, the vaccine candidates. So third statement is a correct statement. First and third statements are correct. We are supposed to find out how many statements are correct. 2 statements are correct, and that's why answer is B, only 2. 82 now. Recently, State Food Safety Index, SFSI, was released. With reference to this, consider the following statement. So who will give State Food Safety Index? Obviously, it is FSSAI. First, it is an annual evaluation which is published by Food Safety and Standards Authority of India. Correct statement. Second, Maharashtra has been announced as the top performing state in the recent State Food Safety Index. This statement is incorrect. In large states, Kerala is the top performer, and in smaller states, it is Goa. Right? So first statement is correct, second is incorrect. Third, this index measures food safety on the basis of parameters including human resources and institutional data, compliance, and food testing infrastructure and surveillance across all states and UTs. So this statement is a correct statement. It takes into account the data, compliance, what kind of compliance is being shown by the food servers or the people who serve food in different states. Compliance will be taken into account, and along with that, food testing infrastructure and surveillance is also considered. So third statement is correct. So in this question, first and third statements are correct, and that's why we are supposed to find out correct statement, and that's why answer is B, 1 and 3 only. 82, answer is B. 83. Read the following statements carefully about city investments to innovate, integrate, and sustain. Cities. First statement. It is a program conceived by the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways in partnership with the French Development Agency. Incorrect statement. It is a program of Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Right? So first statement is incorrect. Second, Cities 2.0 will be implemented in about 100 cities across India. Incorrect. In about 18 cities, not 100. So first two statements are incorrect. Third, It has a unique challenge-driven financing model based on the principles of competitive and cooperative federalism, right? So this statement is a correct statement. The financing models are based on the principles of competitive federalism and cooperative federalism. So only one statement is correct, and that is statement number 3. We are supposed to find out correct statements only, and hence answer is A, 3 only. Question number 83, answer is A. 84. With reference to a multilateral naval exercise, Komodo, consider the following statements. First, it is a military exercise hosted by Indonesian Navy. Correct statement. Komodo is a naval exercise hosted by Indonesian Navy. Second, this exercise is a biennial naval exercise involving navies from various countries in the Indo-Pacific region. Incorrect statement. Komodo involves countries in Asia-Pacific region. Not Indo-Pacific, Asia-Pacific. And that's why second statement is incorrect. First is correct. We are supposed to find out correct statements. Only one is correct, and that's why answer is A, 1 only. 84, answer is A. 85. Consider the following statements. First, human metapneumovirus HMPV is a respiratory virus that can cause respiratory tract infection in humans. So this statement is a correct statement. HMPV is a respiratory tract virus. Second, HMPV can affect people of all age groups, but risk is higher for small children, older adults, and those with immune compromised systems. So this statement is also a correct statement. Third, HMPV spreads through airborne particles produced by coughing and sneezing. So as it is a respiratory tract infection virus, obviously it will spread through coughing and sneezing. All three statements are correct statements. We are supposed to find out correct statements only. Answer is D, 1, 2, and 3. 85, answer is D. 86. Which of the following statement is correct about the currency demand paradox? So what happens in currency demand paradox? The demand of currency is not much, it is falling, but the value of currency goes on increasing, right? So what is currency paradox? So currency paradox is the phenomenon where country's currency becomes more valuable. So value becomes more, but the demand is not there, right? Value is more, but demand is not there. So answer is A. It refers to the phenomenon where a country's currency becomes more valuable even if demand for it decreases. Demand is decreasing, but value goes up. And why this happens? This primarily happens because the investors have more confidence in that currency. They think that that currency is safe, and hence we can say that the value of the currency goes up despite demand decreasing. Answer of this question is A. 86, answer is A. 87. Read the following statements carefully about International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, ICCPR. First statement. It is a multilateral treaty aimed at safeguarding civil and political rights universally. Right? So this statement is a correct statement. ICCPR, what it does, it tries to safeguard civilian and political rights across the globe. Second, it was adopted by the United Nations General Assembly as the result of end of Cold War. Incorrect statement. It was adopted by UNGA in 1966, not as a result of end of Cold War. Second statement is incorrect. Third, India is not a party to the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. So this statement is incorrect statement. Why? Because India is a party of ICCPR. And that's why only first statement is correct statement. We are supposed to find out how many of the above statements are correct. Only one is correct, and that's why answer of this question is A, only one. 87, answer is A. 88 now. Consider the following statements about formation water. First statement. It is a type of water that naturally occurs in the pores and fractures of underground rock formations. Right? So this statement is a correct statement. As it occurs in those underground rock formations, it is called as formation water. Second, this water has lower levels of salinity compared to other types of groundwater. This is an incorrect statement. In fact, it has higher levels of salinity. Second statement is incorrect. Third, it contains various minerals and dissolved gases. This statement is correct. So only first and third statements are correct. Answer of this question is, we are supposed to find out correct statement, and hence answer is B, 1 and 3 only. Question number 88, answer is B. Now the next question is 89. With reference to the Energy Progress Report 2023, consider the following statements. First, this report was released by the International Energy Agency in collaboration with the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. This statement is incorrect statement. Why this statement is incorrect? Because this report, the Energy Progress Report 2023, is released by International Energy Agency, International Renewable Energy Agency, then World Bank, and along with that WHO is also involved. And that's why it is not the report of OECD, and hence first statement is incorrect statement. Second, this annual report tracks global progress towards sustainable development goal number 7. Correct statement, affordable, clean and sustainable energy for all is SDG 7, which is the focus of this particular report. So only second statement is correct. We are supposed to find out statements which are not correct. So only one is not correct, and that's why answer is A, 1 only. Question number 89, answer is A. 90th question. In the context of National Mission for Mentoring, NMM, read the following statements carefully. Right? So in National Mission of Mentoring, it is a part of national education policy, and those who are interested in giving mentorship to students will be encouraged. First statement. This mission is about the creation of a large pool of outstanding professionals willing to provide mentoring to the students. First statement is correct. Second, this mission came into existence as a result of National Education Policy 2020, NEP 2020, correct statement. Third, several schools were selected among Kendriya Vidyalayas, KVs, and Central Board of Secondary Education, CBSE, to participate in the pilot mode of this mission to ensure representation from different educational institutions and backgrounds. So this is also a correct statement for NMM. Various schools from Kendriya Vidyalayas and those who have CBSE board in them were selected for the NMM program. Right, so we are supposed to find out the statements which are incorrect, but none of them is incorrect, and hence answer is D. Question number 90, answer is D. 91 now. Unified registration portal for Govardhan was launched recently. In this regard, read the following statements carefully. First, this portal was developed by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Now this statement is an incorrect statement, because the registration portal for Govardhan was developed by Ministry of Jal Shakti, not by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, and that's why first statement is incorrect. Second, any government cooperative or private entity can enroll in the portal and obtain a registration number. Now this statement is correct. It is open for all. Third, this main objective of this portal is to act as a decentralized platform to evaluate participation in the biogas and compressed biogas sector. Now this statement is incorrect statement. Why it is incorrect? Because it is not a decentralized platform. On the other hand, it is a centralized platform. It is a centralized platform to evaluate participation of the people who want to who want to participate in the development of biogas centers or biogas units. So third statement is also incorrect. First and third statements are incorrect. We are supposed to find out how many statements are correct. Only second statement is correct, and that's why answer is A, only one. Only second statement is correct, and that's why only one statement is correct. 92. Recently, a term ambulator was seen in news. In this regard, consider the following statements. So what are ambulators? Ambulators are an extinct genus of marsupials, and this was found in Australia. In one of the wildlife sanctuaries, ambulators were found, or skeleton of ambulators were found. Answer is B. It is an extinct genus of marsupials. 93. In the context of Agni-1 missile, consider the following statements. First, it is a single-stage solid-fuel medium-range cruise missile having a range of 700 to 900 kilometers. Now, this statement is an incorrect statement. Why it is incorrect? First of all, it is not a cruise missile. It is a ballistic missile. And secondly, it is not a medium range. It is a short-range ballistic missile. And that's why first statement is incorrect. Second, this missile was indigenously designed and developed by the Defense Research and Development Organization. Correct statement. Third, this missile is a part of the Integrated Guided Missile Development Program, IGMDP. Again, a correct statement. So only second and third statements are correct. We are supposed to find out correct statements. Answer is C, 2 and 3 only. Question number 93, answer is C. 94 now. Recently, an MOU was signed for the development of Fukot-Karnali hydroelectric project. In this context, consider the following statements. First, this project is India's first hydroelectric project in Nepal. Incorrect statement. This is at least fourth hydroelectric project of India in Nepal. Second, the hydroelectric project is designed as a peaking run-off river type scheme to ensure optimal utilization of river flow variations by storing water during high flow periods. Right? So this statement is a correct statement. It is of peaking run-off the river type scheme. Hydropower project. So only second statement is correct statement, and that's why answer of this question is B, 2 only. 94, answer is B. 95. With respect to Gagan, consider the following statement. So what do we mean by Gagan? Gagan is a kind of navigation satellite system. It is GPS aided geo-augmented navigation. It is developed by ISRO and it is implemented by ISRO along with AAI, Airport Authority of India. So for Gagan, we use GPS satellites, and these signals from GPS satellites are augmented by few satellites that we have in geostationary orbit, and those augmented signals are used for navigation purposes. Let us consider the statements. First, it is an Indian satellite-based augmentation system, SBAS, used for navigation by India and its neighboring countries in the equatorial region. First statement is a correct statement. It is a satellite-based augmentation system, SBAS. Why we are saying like that? Because signals of GPS are augmented by satellites present in geostationary orbit. First is correct. Second, this technology was jointly developed by Indian Space Research Organization and Airport Authority of India. Correct statement again. Third, it is advantageous not only in aviation but also in various transportation modes and public services, right? So majorly it is used for aviation, but it can be used for other sectors as well. Third is also correct statement. We are supposed to find out how many are correct. So all three are correct, and that's why answer is C, all three. 95, answer is C. 96. Consider the following statements about International Conference on Spacecraft Mission Operation, SMOPS 2023. First statement, it is highly anticipated event organized by International Academy of Astronomics. This statement is incorrect statement. SMOPS 2023 is organized by ISRO in collaboration with Italian Space Agency and International Academy of Astronomics. So first statement is incorrect statement organized by ISRO. Second, it is designed to encourage participation from multiple stakeholders such as space agencies, startups, industry representatives, and academia to drive innovation in space mission operations. So this statement is a correct statement. It is a kind of knowledge sharing exercise wherein various people from the space sector would participate. Right? So second statement is correct. So which of the following statements are correct? So only second is correct, and that's why answer is B, 2 only. 96, answer is B. 97. Consider the following statements about Varunastra. So what is Varunastra? Varunastra is a torpedo in India. Right? It is a torpedo with Indian Navy. First statement. It is a ship-launched, heavyweight, electrically propelled anti-submarine torpedo capable of targeting quiet submarines both in deep and shallow waters. First statement is a correct statement. Torpedo, Varunastra torpedo is used generally for anti-submarine operations, and it can target those submarines which are in shallow waters or they are there in deep waters. Second, it can be fired from anti-submarine warfare ships. Second is also a correct statement. Third, it was developed by Naval Science and Technological Laboratory of DRDO. Right? So this is also a correct statement. So all these three statements related to Varunastra are correct. We are supposed to find out how many statements are correct. All three are correct, and hence answer is C, all three. 97, answer is C. 98. Identify the location using the information given below. So here we have certain statements, and on the basis of these statements we are supposed to find out the name of country. First, it is located at the westernmost point of the African continent. Second, it is bordered by Mauritania, Mali and Guinea. Third, it is best known in the sporting world for Paris-Dakar Rally. So Dakar is a capital of Senegal, and that's why answer of this question is D, Senegal. Question number 98, answer is D. 99. The National Institutional Ranking Framework NIRF Ranking 2023 was announced recently. In this context, which of the following statements are correct? First, it is a ranking system developed by the Ministry of Human Resource Development. Incorrect statement. It is of Ministry of Education. Ministry of Education. First statement is incorrect. Second, this year NIRF has introduced a new subject, namely agriculture and allied sectors in the list. So to recognize the importance of agriculture, NIRF has introduced a new subject called as agriculture and allied sectors in the ranking for 2023. So second statement is correct. Third, it aims to provide reliable data on the quality of higher education in India to help students make informed decisions about their future education. Right? So this statement is a correct statement. NIRF provides some idea about the institutions, and on the basis of that students can make informed decision. NIRF is being published by Ministry of Education since 2015. So third statement is also correct statement. Only first is incorrect. We are supposed to find out correct statement. So answer is D, 2 and 3 only. First statement is incorrect. Second and third are correct. 100th question. With reference to Antardrishti dashboard, which of the following statements is correct? So Antardrishti dashboard is a kind of financial inclusion initiative launched by RBI. So answer of this question is B. It is an innovative tool aims to provide valuable insights for assessing and monitoring the progress of financial inclusion. 100th question, answer is B. And it is launched by this initiative dashboard is launched by the Reserve Bank of India. So that is about this particular test on general science and current affairs. Thank you.